I'm back at Woodlakes on Championship Lake. Got here 7 o'clock this morning. I spent 2 hours walking around all the likely spots. I haven't seen nothing showing. I haven't seen no signs of any fish, which is to be expected really. The fish are known to hold up at the far end of the lake. First vlog with 72 hours on Woodlakes. I fished that with no avail. And then I did 2 nights a bit further up on the channel. Nothing there. I did get some footage of some bait that I'd put out on the boat. I just put the camera on the bottom of the boat, sent it out. That will be show you on the last vlog that I did, and it just basically made me aware that there'd been no fish down that known area. They hadn't been on it. Everything was still there. Couldn't see the rig amongst it all, to be fair. I did go through the footage on a number of times, but nothing there. So I've spent the 2 hours walking around. I've come into the end of the lake where the southerly wind pushes into. I've come down that end of the lake because I still feel that the fish are down this end. On the last vlog, 48 hours, I did hear a good fish bosh in the night. So I'm thinking, and Dad had a take and got snagged up along one of the trees down this side. So I'm changing my approach. I'm going to go back on the Mulberry Florentines, single pop-ups, stiff hinge like multi-rig really. Going to use that. I made a few up before I came, still to show you the rigs I was using on the last session. Yeah, started raining when I left the house. It's been planned. It was raining all day yesterday. Did want to get down on here yesterday, but I had a flat battery. I had to replace the battery on the car, so that was nearly 3 o'clock by the time I got done, and I didn't really fancy coming down in that rain and setting up in the dark. So basically I said I'll get up first light this morning, I'll get down on the lake, I'll have a good wander around. No one on here when I got here. 3 guys have turned up. One of the customers, he's brought some bait down for him. They've gone on the Telegraph where I was on the 72 hours, and there's 3 of them, so it's probably quite cosy for them, to be fair, and the fish are known to hold up down there. So I've gone on the basis that I think they could still be down here. I've looked in the bay. There is a bay right over the other side. It is quite sheltered, and I haven't, well, they're holding up. They've bunched up and they're holding up, and I think where a lot of the weed is pushed down this end, it's all built up. It's their safety net, the safety zone. So I think this is where they could be. It's just trying to encourage that bite. So singles, I'll have a lead about. I'll have a look where I can find somewhere to present. I'm using helicopters. The rigs I'm using are stiff. They're like a stiff hinge, but they're a little braided section, more like a multi-rig. So I'm going to use them. I can present on a bit of weed if need be. Just having a coffee. Got the heater on, warming up. My fingers did go a bit numb. It is snowing quite hard. As you can see, rods are still there. They're not out yet. And that's the view. So wind is pushing down this way. Whether that will have any effect, I don't know. I just feel that they're down here. So that's where we're at. I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to get warmed up. I'm then going to get wrapped up again, and I'm going to go get the rods out, find a few spots, and catch up with you guys later. Hi guys, back. Just a quick catch up at the moment. Had a plod about out there, found a few spots, so I know roughly where the clear spots are. I am on helicopters. I'm not too fussy about picking the clearest spot out there. I know the weeds died down a lot, but there's still clumps of it about, so if I am presenting in a small clump of weed and my bait's floating down on top, I'm quite happy with that. Fish may not necessarily be on the bottom anyway, they're in the water. I think I might just add a bit of an opportunity for a quick bite. These are the rigs I'm using. You can see that, so fluorocarbon boom, then bait screws just easy, messing about this time of year. Mulberry Florentine, there's two pink and a yellow. They have been in a pot of glug for the last few days, so they're going to go out. So you can see 1, 2, and then one out here, and that's the spot from the fishing. There's a lot of weed held up down here around the corner where it's all been cut back. That's where I think the fish are holding up. I think they're venturing out every now and again and holding back up in there, so that's the thinking behind it. See, it's very blustery snow, cold, but who knows, maybe we can winkle one out. 5 days now and blanked. I'm really sort of ready and wanting to get a fish on the bank. So I'll get these rigs on, I'll get them out, and then it's time to get the kettle on again and have a little bit of a chill out, I think, and warm up a bit. See you guys later. Good morning. What can I say? Quiet again. You haven't heard a lot from me. The weather yesterday was a bit fresh, to say the least. So that snow came in, started off as rain, then it turned to sleet, and then it started snowing pretty heavy for a good few hours. So the rods were more or less just thrown out on helicopters, on the rig that I mentioned yesterday. This morning I got up. What a day. Looks beautiful today. That sun's just gone in a little bit, but it's been warm. So like swans at the far end have been having a bit of a duel this morning. It's been quite good to watch. I was lucky enough to get some of that on some footage, so that'll be in the edit. So yeah, this morning got up, went and saw reception, paid up, as yesterday I was pretty bivvy bound. Didn't see anybody about when I got here. Had a bit of a freshen up, brought the rods in, had a bit of a lead about, found some spots that feels promising, I'll be honest. That wind is just trickling in. It's been dead calm for a lot of the morning, but it's just a little breeze that is just pushing down into this bay, and it's looking good. Let's see if I can go through where the rods are positioned then. So down here, just on the edge of this reed, about 6 wraps out. It's a nice little dunk. Took about four casts to get it right. Just kept catching these reed like sticking out. I managed to just get it in between them and land with a good little thud, so I was happy with that. The middle rod is, so let's see, out here where this tree is, and the reeds just in there. I've got a garlic wafter on that, and I did put 2 handfuls, if that, of boilies just scattered over the top, just so it's quite wide area, just to encourage something to feed is the idea. And then where this weed, so you've got all these reeds in here, there's quite thick weed down there, but just on the edge where this weed comes across, I've put a rig on the edge of that on a bit of a firm spot. So I'm well happy with how all the rigs are presented. It does feel bang on for a bite. Did see a bit of water parting through here this morning, so it looked like a fish had just cruised in, so that's even adding to the confidence. I've had a feeling that they've been down this end of the lake for the last couple of weeks, hence why I ended up coming in here. There is a bay out there where the fish are known to hold up when it's sunny like this, so the demons have been battling with me whether I should have moved round into there, but I think something's going to happen in here, and I'm happy with how everything's sat up and presented. Yeah, it feels good for it. I'm confident. Be surprised if it does a day bite, but certainly they reckon between 9 o'clock onwards, 4 o'clock in the morning is a good bite time, so might have a bit of a wait, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to get something to eat because I haven't had anything to eat yet. It's been a bit of a, well, being bivvy bound yesterday, it's just been nice to stand out here and just watch the water. Swans have given a good account of themselves. Yeah, so I'm waffling on. We'll catch up later and wish me luck. honestly thought something was going to happen, but just didn't. Went to bed early, about 5 o'clock. I woke up about 20 past 9. Kept my eyes on the water, listening. Didn't hear nothing. Thought I might get the odd sign in the night, but not a thing. Saying that, it hit about -4 last night, so it was cold. At the moment, as you can see, we've got freezing fog at the moment, so it's still a bit nippy, to say the least. I did move the left-hand rod this morning. Put a little PVA bag on with some pellets, a bit of the Mulberry Florentine bait enhancer, with a garlic wafter on here. Just something different. They've done some good fish. Had a couple mid-20s and 30s on them, so thought I'd put that out in the pond just to see what that did. I did have two bleeps not long after each other. Kept an eye on the rod tip, but nothing prevailed from that, but it gave me a lot of information. It's dead calm out there, so there's only one thing that could have caused that, and that's a fish either moving about or picking up the some of the pellet and the bait. I brought that back in and it had tangled, so I think something had actually been interested in it. It is a bit weedy out there where I put it. Sort of went a bit further out into a deeper open water. Slid the bead up on the helicopter just to compensate for any weed that it did flutter into. And with that information, I decided I'm going to put it back out there and put the right hand rod that was down here in the bay along these weed. I decided to swap the middle rod over to that side of the bite alarms, and I moved that rod over into that area as well. Based on that information, it says a lot when being sat here for 48 hours and there's been no occurrences, so giving it a couple more hours now and still nothing. So yeah, I think I'm clutching at straws now. I think I could be here for another night and still be in the same predicament. I think a lot of the fish are just held up. They're not moving, therefore they're not feeding. Yeah, a bit of a sign that there is some activity in the area, so that was a bit promising, but still nothing's come from it. So a bit of a slow pack up. I am thinking of getting the bait boat out the car, because I left that in there. I didn't bother bringing it over, and I might stick the camera on and see if we can get a bit of underwater footage and just put the boat out there a little bit and see if we can see anything laid up, or just have a look. I do like underwater filming, so it's a bit of a thing of mine, of interest, just to see what's under the surface and what's out on the bottom. So might do that. I've got the waterproof case out and everything else to set up, so yeah, get slowly packed up. I downsized a lot of my gear this time, so I don't have a huge amount to barrow back to the car. Marvin on here, he's a bailiff. He charges £5 per trip if you're right across the other side of the lake. It is a bit of a trek, and that's to pick you up as well. But this time, because I've gone a lot lighter, I didn't see the point in doing so. Plus I was here very early on Friday, so yeah, looking to try and find something to go at was tricky, especially in that snow. Looked a bit like a snowman at the end of it when I got back to the car to get the gear out. Yeah, I spoke to the lad. There was 3 lads came in on Friday. They fished where me and Steve did on the 72-hour session, and they hadn't had nothing either. One of them had to go home a bit earlier because he'd got keys to a new house and to move in, so it was good luck to him. one of the lads came round this morning, spoke to me, and we had a bit of a natter. Yeah, and we're just like, they're not here. They're held up somewhere. They're not feeding. They're not moving about. I think maybe if we could get on top of them, you might be able to winkle a bite out. Who knows? But this is what, part 3 now. So we had 72 hours. Me, Steve, and Dad. And then we did another 48-hour last week. Dad had a pickup, snagged him in underneath one of the trees. Bless him, he's in his 70s. He's not as quick and nimble as we are. So that was a promising sign that there was something down this end. But that southerly wind did pick up quite a lot on Friday, and I sat here and I was looking at the far end in the shelter, and I was thinking, I made a doozy here. I should have been down that end. But that end's not produced anything either, and that's what I had. What's nine lines out, covering quite a bit of water. So just goes to show, you start thinking you're doing things wrong, and you're not. It's just the way it is. It's fishing. So I spoke to Marvin yesterday. He said that Cabin Lake is a bit quiet. They haven't got many residents on there. If I wanted, I could have a jump on there and have a go on there. Said there's a margin that runs parallel to the road. That would be worth having a bash on. So who knows, maybe I'll come back here. I feel like I've got a deck to settle here. Now it's third outing, 3, 5 or 7 nights and not had a fish. But saying that, there hasn't been a fish out in the last 3 weeks that I'm aware of. So do I jump back on here and try my luck again, or go on to the Cabin Lake? It's totally different water. There's no weed in there. It's cloudy, it's murky, it's not as crystal clear as this water. Some big bream in there apparently, so not sure really. Going for the carp, so who knows, maybe if I have to put up 1 or 2 bream to get to the carp, then that might be the way forward. But yeah, so I'll have a slow pack up here, get everything to the car, I'll take a walk over with the bait boat, get the camera under the water, see what we can find, and go from there. So tight lines, guys. Won't see much from me now unless a miracle happens. So take care, until next time.